What's up, fam? Good vibes, people. Thank you very much for clicking this video, man. You are wonderful and of great value to this earth. You see, here we are all about love, peace, forgiveness, and unity. As our message out there to the world, kindly watch these videos till the end and help spread this message straight out of Africa with good vibes. Lots of good vibes, man. Tell us where you're watching from and let's dive in. Leave a comment, good people. Good vibes till the end.
Used engine oil. Used engine oil. So I've already replaced the oil and I'll just prove it. Like, I'll stick my finger in. Look. Smell that. Used engine oil. Okay, see it on the ground? So you gotta clean it up. So here's what you do. You get some of that used engine oil. By the way, I didn't tell you what I was doing with it. But then you got to some old dried out crappy plastic like that. Used engine oil on your things. And you give them a little coat. And give it a coat. Hope I got enough to do the whole thing. I'm sure I have. There you go. So used engine oil. This car's been running with this oil, or been drained. The drained oil went back into the new bottle. Then you get, to show you're not cheating, you get another rag, someone's glove, and then you shine that thing up. Shine that thing up. Look, no residue. Shine that thing up, and then here's one I prepared earlier. Come over here. And here's one I prepared the other day. There it is, all shined up. And I can tell you, it's not gonna rub my dress on there. It's not gonna happen. Then that's all dried up and weirdsy. But I polished this one the other day. If you'd like to see it after a week, or maybe after I wash it, or maybe my next TikTok will show you after washing it. Even if it washed off. I've got 5 litres over there. Not only that, it doesn't cost anything because we've already bought this and we've already placed our oil. There's life hack number 1.
Oh, that's interesting. I might try that with my shoes.
This fucked me up, so I'm gonna let it fuck you up too. The body you occupied in your past life is buried somewhere on this earth.
Good. That's quite disturbing. Huh? RHCB versus Diamond. What is RHCB? Is RHCB this thing here that is growing, looking orange, and is changing color? What is this thing? Is this some hot stuff or oh my god? This is crazy. Oh, good people of Earth, please help us. What is RHCB? You see now that's a new theory to me and new name. And it looks quite funny, interesting. Is this a stone or what's that? Something that can maybe crack a diamond or oh my god. I'd like to know what's that. This is interesting. You see now seeing someone with some diamond trying stuff like this is incredible. Myself, I've never touched a diamond in real life. Yo, you guys out there watching? Have you ever seen or touched a diamond? Please share. Real life monsters caught on camera. Wow! Oh my god! Yeah. Was that a monster or some big shark? Oh, that's creepy. What is that? Oh my god! Look at this other tree here from who knows where. What's up with the tree? Is this tree made of plastic or rubber? Or is it so... Do you call it flaccid? What's up with that tree? Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, look at this snake. No, that's a giant snake. Wow. Imagine taking a walk in the woods and then encountering something like that. Some huge anaconda. Oh my god. That is something that would freak me out of my skin. Yeah. What's happening here? This is some other place. I don't know what's up. Oh my god. Crazy stuff all over this world. It makes me really wonder. Is this some baby seed or a dog swimming? What's this thing? You people that know about water stuff. What is this? Hmm. Is that some water dog or something like that? Huh.
I got a huge revelation in a dream last night about a type of spiritual identity theft that is taking place. And I'm not saying that this is the only method that this is happening, but I got shown this method very clearly. So, what I was shown is this like 3-part attack on your Akashic records. Essentially, someone, before you are aware of your spiritual gifts or before they really set in, so probably childhood, purchases or bids on part of your Akashic records. In order to actually keep it from you, they need to kind of complete this 3-level, almost as if they break in and then have to get out of, imagine it like a bank vault. They have to then get out of the bank to take what they stole with them. So it comes in these 3 layers: spiritual, physical, mental. They essentially have to climb the ladder, getting past you kicking them out of your energy, to make it all the way into these records. And then after they get them, they have to take them out of your energy also without you being able to stop them. So gang stalking or setups and betrayals, it is essentially all to distract you and put down your defenses while these energy vampires that bid on access to your Akashic records try and sneak their way up the ladder and sneak their way all the way back out. That's why they try and keep the chosen ones so distracted so that you are paying attention to other things and not recognizing what's happening internally. Now, there will be a lot of backstabbing, betrayal set up for a prolonged period of time as they're going up the ladder, because they start with those mental attacks and then it goes to spiritual, and then it goes up into your Akashic records. Everything comes in 3s in this example because that's how it starts and that's how it continues. So basically, in each layer or each level, they have 3 chances to get through to the next one, and the same on the way back down, 3 chances. However, every time, if they set up something for you to distract you, but you turn it around and look within instead of focusing externally, they lose a chance. And every time they lose a chance, you get another major piece of the puzzle, a spiritual download, because they're basically pulling on a string of your Akashic records. And if it doesn't go for them, it comes to you, because they're basically turning on that piece of information. And if they're not able to successfully hack or steal it, you get the download that's already in play. So they have to use their chances very wisely, because every time they fail at trapping, tricking, or stopping you, you get another piece of the puzzle. So you become stronger and harder to trap, trick, or distract. Now, the crazy thing is, these are your records. They belong to your soul's imprint. Basically, think of it like a thumbprint, but your soul. These people can't use what they're taking from you. They can only study it and keep it from you. Because let's say they have this card, okay? This is supposed to be yours. They can't embody this. All they can do is replicate it. So they can never be stronger with your power than you can be with your power. So essentially, that's why they go after us so hard, is because it's less about taking it for themselves and more about keeping it from you, which is why there's so many distractions and blockages and trying to keep you from realizing who you are, so that they have enough time to try and siphon it from you and embody it for themselves, knowing that it's never theirs to begin with. It's from your records, and they know that because they're doing all this work to break into your specific bank vault of your soul. So essentially, they know that no matter what, they'll never be stronger than you could be if you had what they were trying to steal from you, which is why they will do anything to stop you. So the attacks start on a 3D level before you really step into or recognize your gifts. That way they're already in your energy as things start to unfold. So you never really realize the full extent of your gifts until you kick them out, because there's always part of it blocked. It's almost like the dark side of the moon that they hide in your energy. After the 3D, it goes into the mental. This is usually when they use something in the 3D to keep you out of analyzing and trying to unpretzel what they have pretzeled in your mind. They try to confuse you, they try to psych you out, they try to scare you. That is so when they are going through that mind gate, you're not paying attention to it. You're paying attention to the 3D. And that's why they start to attack the 3D before you even recognize your spiritual gifts, because they're basically breaking into your energy without you even recognizing that that's a possible thing yet. That's why they start so early. And then when they're ready to move up to that spiritual, which is when they can eventually break into or hack your Akashic records and try and basically think of it like a line of coding that they try and remove out of your energy field so that they can have it in their energy field and study it and try to embody it, or at the very least keep it from you so that you're not more powerful than them. Then when they're ready to move into that spiritual, that's when they really start to attack your mind, so that you're then focused mentally and not trying to block them from spiritual theft. So basically the mind is when they start to allow you to be aware that what they've been doing the whole time is ganging up against you, is spiritually and even physically attacking and blocking you, so that you're then focused on that and not the fact that they're up in there trying to take your Akashic records, trying to access something that's not their business. The thing is though, if they're up there accessing that, it means that you have ascended high enough, which is why they still need to let you do your spiritual work, your spiritual evolution, why they can't stop it completely. They need you to be the one to ascend your energy. Think of it like those, the water park things where you shoot the water gun and the level rises of the water tower in front of you. They need you to get that all the way up so that you have enough power to access your Akashic records, but then they can hack it. So they need to let you elevate and then boom, drop you down to rock bottom while they remain up there in your energy so that they can't be stopped by you being on the same level as them. So they want to rise up, allow you to rise your energy up, and then create tower movement after frustration, after blockage, so that they can remain up in your energy through black magic and you drop down so that you can't stop them. But here's the thing. If they try it and they fail, they only get one shot at that. If they permanently get kicked out, you now have access to everything that they were trying to do. So that's why it needs to be so perfectly set on stage so that when they're accessing your records, you're not there to stop them. Because if you are, you get access to everything that they tried to do. And they can no longer try shit because there's no chance of it ever working again. Spiritual identity theft.
Oh, that's interesting. Even though I don't know what Akashic or whatever is.
Where I can find a decent, loyal, funny, good-looking guy around here?
Ugh, not another one. All right, let's try it again. And you know what? I'm just going to give a cursory mention to the friend zone. Because I would bet money there are tons of guys who meet all those criteria you listed that are sitting in your friend zone or were, but you didn't give a second glance to because they just didn't check all the boxes. And that's the real issue. Because you see, there are tons of great guys, guys who are funny, guys who are loyal, guys who are good looking, all around you. The problem is, to you, they're just not funny enough or good looking enough. They're not perfect. And that's the problem. You expect perfection. Or as you often see on here, women have raised their expectations. Or sometimes they'll phrase it as, we've raised our standards. And of course, they blame men for not meeting them. In fact, today's women take great joy in making videos mocking and ridiculing men. I mean, it helps to get clicks, views, and likes, right? The thing none of you seem to have realized is that's a huge turnoff for men. And it's why they're walking away from y'all. We get put down enough by society. But now the women who supposedly want relationships with us, think it's great sport to make fun of us. How's that working out for you? The other thing y'all can't seem to realize is that it's become a huge risk for a man to approach you. Back in the day, women often laughed and mocked at men when they approached them. And from what I can tell, having talked to guys recently, it's not only still occurring, it's gotten worse. And believe me when I say this, when it happens to a guy enough times, and it does, he's like, why bother? But even as bad as that is, it's not even the worst possibility, because there's enough of you out there who will scream at us for doing so, who will claim we're harassing you. Thanks, but no thanks. So where are all those great, funny, good-looking, loyal guys now? They're home playing video games with their buds, or they're out hunting and fishing with other guys. They're out enjoying life and not dealing with all this drama, and more importantly, not having to deal with the complete and utter lack of respect that today's women have towards men. We didn't create this situation, but we are acknowledging it. And the best fix for us is to simply walk away. I mean, men never really got much out of the bargain anyway, but today there's literally no benefit to being in relationships anymore. Not a one. So I'm sorry you can't find the guy you're looking for. Maybe y'all ought to get together, stop disparaging men, making fun of them, and take a hard look at those expectations. Standards you've all set. Because you can't meet your own standard. So demanding that guys do is just plain silly.
So please love and respect everybody as you do to yourself.
Everything you know in physics after 19th century, such as atoms are formed by subatomic particles, electrons and protons, zooming around each other, such as the sun is a fusion reactor, constantly produce energy, shooting out of photons, such as space travel, go to the moon, satellites. It's all lies. You don't understand. You don't believe me. But you should know, before 19th century, before the Big Bang force theory, the Big Bang theory, in science community, the universe is stable. Scientists don't understand how the sun produces energy. They don't understand what is energy. Even today, Richard Feynman quote, in physics today, we don't know what the energy is. Seriously, nobody knows what is energy. Scientists say the energy is the power to do work. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can transfer forms. That's the scientific definition of energy. That is story. That is not science. Energy is electricity. Very simple. We power all the computer, all the stuff with the electricity. We breathe air to get the electricity to power our muscles. We push something. That pushing force is electric force. It's electricity. That's how wind can push a wind turbine to produce electricity. All the energy is electricity. If you shoot a body, the body that hit the wall, that momentum, you look closely, that impact force is electricity push electricity, because all the metals carry electricity. Electricity is just force, Coulomb's force, because all the atoms are constructed by charged atom parts. Atoms are not
now they contain 99.9999 empty space. Atoms are solid. Atoms are indestructible. That's why all the chemical reactions, hydrogen still hydrogen, oxygen still oxygen. They cannot be destroyed, cannot be separated into subatomic particles. There's no subatomic atomic particles. All these subatomic particle research theory, Nobel Prize, all lies, all schemes. There is no subatomic particle, no electron or proton. The smallest particle, solid particle exists is hydrogen atom. The theory you learned in history about atomic structure is all false theory. If atom is not a solid, there will be no solid matters. Very simple. Use Lego piece to make a toy. If the Lego piece is soft, the toy will be soft. How can the Lego piece contain 99.999 empty space, build a solid stuff like glass, diamond, rocks? The theory is totally flawed. Science, after 19th century, becomes a cult. All these science community scholars, all these students, all worship lies. All this relativity, quantum mechanics are fake gods, not true at all imaginary, not a one tiny truth. After matter and energy conservation law being discovered and proved, nothing is new. Even electromagnetism is half flawed. You don't believe me? Ask me questions. I give you an example. Electronism is half bullshit. The theory says antenna, current flow back and forth in antenna, produce electromagnetic waves. How can current flow back and forth in an antenna? Antenna is a terminal. It's not a closed circuit. How can electron flow back and forth in a terminal? A steel rod, a metal rod? No, they don't know. Their theory, the electromagnetism theory, is flawed. It's false. You have questions, ask me. Anyways, what we were talking about? I forgot what we were talking about. Have a great day.
What do you think? Do you think that out of human has a point? About
You need
energy.
to get rid of all those copper pipes. Those copper pipes are blocking all your radio frequencies from coming into the home. A lot of homes still have copper pipes or they still have lead pipes. This is really interesting. You go into this whole thing with copper and lead pipes, there's still tons of homes throughout the United States that all have copper and lead pipes. But what people don't know is that they're putting toxins through the public water system so that they could corrode those pipes to get people away from the copper pipes. Oh, your pipes fell apart? We didn't even know. We just threw a bunch of toxins in there which stripped the pipes of all of the makeup. And then because of that, you're gonna have to switch your pipes. You're gonna have to come over to PVC. They always show the pipes and they're like, look at all this corrosion. All that corrosion is also too because you have, number one, pipes going in a straight line, which don't make a lot of sense because water doesn't flow in a straight line, it flows in a curve. Secondly, you have all these toxins and chemicals that are getting put into the public water system so that it causes all that corrosion. The government paid Florida to replace their copper pipes. Well, there you go. Perfect example right there. Somebody just come on in and says, you know what, you need to get rid of all those copper pipes. Those copper pipes are blocking all your radio frequencies from coming into the home. So we're gonna pay you, and we'll pay you maybe 50 bucks. That's usually what it is, $50, so that you can get rid of your pipes. That's kind of what happens. And then people are like, well, if I get $50, I get rid of my pipes because like I'm not using them anyways. I'll just switch them out if you take care of it. And then all of a sudden the people got PVC pipes in their home. So you see how there's always something, there's a tactic. Anytime somebody tells you to do something, you always do the opposite. That's the best way.
Oh my god. That's so interesting.
Do you have O negative or pH negative blood? Let's go down the blood type rabbit hole. Before we get into the science and conspiracy of the blood type rabbit hole, let's start by going over God showed me the significance in the O negative blood. He gave me a dream where I was on this beast system bus. Everybody on this bus was hooked up to IVs. The second I went on the bus, the signal for my phone dropped, and I found out through a mental type thing that the only way you got signal for your phone was by giving your blood, aka your life force. And there was a nurse checking on all the patients on the bus hooked up to IVs, and she looked at me and said, "Don't go anywhere, sir, we'll get you in 1 minute." And instantly in that moment, everyone on that bus knew that I was O negative, and her face turned all devilish and turned into a demon face. So let's start at the tip of the iceberg and work our way down. Why is this O negative, RH negative blood? Why is it so sought after? Well, first we need to understand, even biblically, that the blood is the life force of the human, of the animal. In the Old Testament, we see blood sacrifice. Even Jesus, blood sacrifice. And God even commands us not to ingest the blood. So that's why with like satanic covens and witch covens, we see the ingestion of this blood. But what makes O negative so much different than these other blood types? Well, I went down the freaking rabbit hole, and I was in uncharted waters, and I came across this guy who worked for a federal agency. I'm not going to say which agency and which country he was working for, but they were actually seeking after these O negative blood types. There was something very special about them. Their blood was not tainted. Now, what certain agencies have found is that in this blood type, the O negative, it's negative for all the add-ons that's happened to A, B, and AB blood. So the people who generally have this kind of blood are much more likely to disassociate by trauma without going crazy or passing away. So that's where we get into MK and to altered mind states. Now also with this O negative blood, the individual is more electronically charged and more spiritual. So you'll find the O negative blood type, if they don't know Jesus, as the people who practice divination and sorceries and all of these things, because they are more spiritually inclined and more energetically inclined. And these are the kind of people that can download things just from sitting there. I know I'll just sit there and I'll just know things I shouldn't know, and later I'll look at it and find out it was correct. Just the ability to download stuff from the ether. It's really, really wild. And if you're O negative, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, so they have these people. They've also had, like Looking Glass, and they've also, in World War II, they were using people to astral project into as spies in the spiritual realm into other places to see what these people were doing, and they're reporting back, and they had groups of people, 5 and 10 people, who would all go to the same place, come back and tell them the same things when their body never left. But once again, they're more spiritually inclined, so it's easier for them to do these things. You know, we were made as spiritual, energetic beings, a spirit in a body, and the spirit being electronic in nature, almost, to be able to receive and send signals. So what does the Bible say about Satan? He's going to blind the eyes of those in the world. Well, if you affect or attack the blood, you literally make the walking dead. Now, O negative is very, very rare blood. There's certain villages of people around the world who have a very high consistency of that blood type. You know, it's much more positive of A, B, or AB. And all these have added things to the blood cell, like you can see right here, and these added things affect the nature of the blood cell, aka the life force of the person. So years ago I had blood banks trying to pay me a ton of money for my blood, so I was like, why is this blood so significant? I always knew I was a little bit different than other people around me, especially like, you know, zoning so far out to where things change around you, and just the downloads and these other weird things that go with it, right? And being able to feel certain things that are coming. And you'll go down the mainstream rabbit hole, the mainstream one, and they'll tell you, well, it's alien blood. And it's this, no, could not be farther from the truth. It is blood that has not been tampered with. This is going to go a whole lot deeper, so check in for part 2. Make sure you like and bookmark. And if you have O negative blood, tell me about your experiences in the comments.
Oh, good people. What's your blood type out there?
Dehydrate some fruit today. This will make my fruit last a lot longer in storage and reduce its size and weight, which makes it great for hiking and camping snacks. Removing the moisture from fruit will reduce its weight by 80 to 90%. Plus, I got a new dehydrator, so I want to try it out. So I'm going to start out with bananas, my favorite. Then some apples. The thinner you slice your fruits, the less time it'll take to dehydrate them. So I'm slicing these about 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe a little less. And next up are some kiwis. And I leave the skin on because apparently it's good for you. So now I got all my fruit laid out on the racks. We're going to put them in the dehydrator. Then I'll set my temperature at 135 and let it go for 8 hours. This thing is great. Now I don't have to use my oven anymore. After 8 hours, I tested them. They still had a little moisture in them, so I left them in for about 3 more hours, and they're good to go. They're going to have kind of a leathery texture. If you squeeze them and no moisture comes out, you know they're done. The kiwis are pretty sour, but the bananas and apples are going to be nice and sweet. Now I have my next camping snack.
Good day, my friends. They say you learn something new every day. Well, here's a question I've pondered for a while. When Jesus healed the blind man, he spat on the ground and made a paste and rubbed it into his eyes. Why did he do that? Because as God, he only needed to give the word and that man's sight would have been restored. So why did he make a paste? The story goes that Jesus saw the blind man, went up, spat on the ground and made a paste, put it on the man's eyes, and he was healed, although he'd been blind from birth. Then the Pharisees come and question the man and wonder if he was blind from birth. And certain witnesses are asked, including the parents. Now, it is believed that this man was disinherited by his parents. There was a custom among the Jews at the time that if a person was born disabled, when he reached the age of 13, the parents could disinherit him. And it is believed that this had happened to this man for 2 reasons in this text. 1, why was he begging if his parents were around? And 2, when the parents were questioned if this was their son and was he born blind, their response was, ask him, he is of age, let him speak for himself. So it is believed that this man had been disinherited by his parents at the age of 13. So this is the key as to why Jesus spat on the ground and made a paste. Because if someone was disinherited by their parents, when the Jews passed by them, they used to spit on the ground because they thought those people were an abomination to God. And all his life, this man would have heard people spit on the ground in front of him. So when Jesus spat on the ground beside the blind man, it had a deep meaning. He was showing the blind man that the sound of saliva that he had heard all his life would be the key to his healing, his emotional and physical healing. In spitting on the ground, Jesus wanted to reveal that the greatest wound and source of pain for this man was not his blindness, but rather having been disinherited by his parents. Before healing his physical disability, Jesus wanted to heal the wounds of his soul. God bless.
Wow, that's interesting, man. I didn't know that myself.
You know that the moon is solid. How come you can't see it during a new moon?
Why can't you see it during a new moon?
Yeah.
Because do you understand how vision works?
Well,
right? In a new moon, what's happening in a new moon? The sun is illuminating the side of away from us.
So,
right? Light illuminates the things that it hits. So a new moon is when the side that the sun is illuminating is the other side away from us. What do you want it to do? The light to go around the moon and come back and hit the other side like magic?
Without interrupting, let me just answer. When we have when there's when it's nighttime, you're away from all lights and there's a full moon, I can read by that moonlight. That moonlight casts a shadow on the ground. Don't interrupt. That casts a shadow on the ground. So that moonlight, which is reflected sunlight off a dusty, dirty, rocky, rock ball in your world, is bright enough to travel 238,000 miles to cast a shadow on the ground and to light up my book so I can read. During a total solar eclipse in your world, the Earth is a full Earth from the moon's point of view. It's bigger and shinier, and it should light up the moon, but it doesn't. And no telescope, from any position with the infrared or anything, has ever seen the moon.
Can you think of why? Can you think of why? Can you think of a much, much brighter object that is right there where the moon is?
Well, during
the corona of the sun, which is thousands of times brighter. What you're doing right now is you're basically saying, I'm going to shine a spotlight directly into your eyes, and then you tell me if you can see a firefly 2 centimeters to the right. Like, what are you talking about? Do you seriously not understand this stuff? A child can understand this stuff.
So when you're throwing out words like spectroscopy, what's the difference between spectroscopy and astrospectroscopy?
What do you mean astro? So astro is a prefix that means stars. So if that's even a word, it's spectroscopy pertaining to stars. What are you, like, Googling stuff furiously over there?
I'm just asking you, I've taken a few notes. I figured out, I watched a few of your videos. I know the straw manning that you're going to try to do and the things that you're going to try to claim. And in reality, an infrared camera, a regular camera from the space station, they should be able to see the sun, the moon, either approach the sun, eclipse the sun completely, or exit the sun, and nobody has ever seen it. So again, why are we looking up in the sky? When
I just explained. I just answered your question. You just answered it again. You asked a question that I just answered. The sun is very bright. Right? Way, way, way brighter than Earthshine. Do you understand that if something very bright, you're looking at something very bright, you can't see something way less bright next to it? What are you not getting about that?
When there's a total eclipse of the sun and you have the little ring around there, you can block that out so it doesn't blind you and you still can't see it. You know what?
It doesn't block it out. The corona. Have you never seen an eclipse?
Why are we talking? You can make a fake eclipse, right? By putting a disc in front of the sun and then looking at the corona. And you could do the same thing with the corona. You can block it. Why are we looking up at the lights in the ceiling that determine the shape of the floor?
Because it works really well. It's the easiest way to figure out the shape of the Earth is by looking at the celestial objects in the sky and recording their motion.
Oh, good people, thanks for watching up to this part. And from the looks of things or for more to know, is the earth flat or spherical? Please leave a comment on what you think about that topic and all those videos that has passed. I'd like to see or hear your thoughts on all that, man. Thanks for watching up to this far. You are lovely, man. Hit the like button, leave a comment, tell us where you're watching from, and keep it tuned till the end, man. Big up to all the guys that have been leaving a comment there. You are loved and respected. Share love and kindness all around you. Let's keep watching. Oh my god. This looks like what? Some book. Is this a book? Some crazy type of book with what looks like crystals on top. Huh? What is this now? Whose book is this? Oh, look at the drawings and the words inside. Oh my god. What? Huh? How do these people get these books? Now look at this one. It looks like it's made of some material that we don't know. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, let's think about this now. Those people that left these books behind. Okay, people from the past. No, they intending for us to see this message and maybe, what do you call it, translate it and get an understanding of what's in there, or what was the intention, or these are just old books.
Why do mosquitoes always bite you? We have found the answer. When a group of people goes out to play, why do mosquitoes always seem to prefer biting you? Is it because of blood type, zodiac sign, scent, gender, or color? No. These are all rumors and not the main reasons. This is a video that will change your perception. Be sure to watch it carefully. Female mosquitoes, in order to reproduce, must feed on fresh blood. What kind of blood do mosquitoes love the most? It needs to be nutritious, fresh, and easy to suck, just like how we cook our meals. Nutritious, delicious, and easy to prepare. Once you understand this, it becomes clear. Now, how do mosquitoes determine if a blood source is fresh and easy to suck before they feed on it? Mosquitoes have very poor eyesight, so they cannot visually identify where fresh blood is. However, their heads and legs have many sensory organs that can detect heat and carbon dioxide. Through billions of years of evolution, mosquitoes have developed the ability to sense areas with high levels of carbon dioxide and heat. This indicates that there is likely something delicious there. At this point, we can confirm that people with high levels of carbon dioxide and heat are the favorites of mosquitoes. Who are more likely to have high levels of carbon dioxide and heat? They are individuals with a high metabolism rate, mostly men compared to women, younger people compared to older individuals, athletes and infants compared to ordinary people. It has little to do with blood type, zodiac sign, color, or gender. Since mosquitoes are so annoying, what would happen if they went extinct?
Do you mean a mosquito have some health detector? Oh my god! That's pretty creepy, man. I didn't know that. I was always wondering why mosquitoes are making funny noises around us. Could you mean they detect the health of a person? Ha! That's creepy. Oh my god, look at some guys here that have a floating stone. Yeah, really creepy. What type of stone is this? This really surprises me. You see, like now where I come from, there is some place here with some very big rocks that you can lift.